Hi, this is Kris Cumnock with the Tom Landry Classic, and we're going to talk 5A football today. And we're going to talk specifically Allen and DeSoto. These are the two teams that most people feel like are a foregone conclusion to meet in the playoffs, and the eventual winner will go on to win the state championship. I don't know how true that is. There's certainly some other teams in 5A, particularly in the Metroplex, that will have a lot to say about that. But if you just look at the two teams, there's so many similarities with these two, including their non-district schedules. You know, both of them play what Coach Mathis at DeSoto describes as an SEC type schedule, and the reason is it's hard to get teams to want to play either one of these guys, so they wind up really having to play some very difficult teams. You get caught in that trap of these 5A teams that no one wants to play, so they wind up all having to play each other. You look at DeSoto's out of district schedule, and it includes Jinx, Oklahoma, a perennial power up there, Euless Trinity, a perennial power down here, and then Arlington Martin, who's a very talented football team. On the flip side, you look at Allen, and they opened up on the road at South Lake Carroll. They play Capel here in a couple weeks, and they have Hebron this Friday night. So both of them have extremely difficult schedules to start the season with. DeSoto, no one's been able to stay with them so far with this offense. And I think that the big reason is, and the thing, if you're going to beat DeSoto, you've got to have an equalizer to Desmond White. They're a fine quarterback. And this kid can run it. He can throw it. He's instant offense. He's a video game type quarterback, if you will. And he's had a great season so far. No one's figured out how to slow him or this offense down. They're scoring over 50 points a game, and they're doing it on some very good defenses. Trinity typically always has a good defense. Jinx, Oklahoma came down here and really felt like their defense could at least slow DeSoto down. They couldn't. Arlington Martin's got one of the best defensive ends in the country, rushing the passer and other Division I talent over there, and they couldn't slow DeSoto down. Beyond White, he's got a couple kids in the backfield, Jamon Peterson and Jatori Brown, that are averaging over 5 yards a carry. And it's really difficult when you have to say, okay, we're going to take the run away from Desmond White, and we're not going to let him beat us with his legs. And you're spending so much energy, expending so much energy trying to take that away, then you lose Peterson, you lose Brown, and that's a dangerous thing to do, because both those kids can really run the football. When you force them to pass, he's got Kevin Thomas and Chris Lacey. Both players are averaging over 18 yards a catch. Lacey's committed to Oklahoma State. He's a Division I talent. So there's a lot on that offensive side of the ball. It's a pick-your-poison kind of a situation there. They're going to score 50 against just about anybody. Man, they're that good. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball, and there's Division I talent over there as well, led by Nick Orr in their secondary, and then Bryce English, who leads a talented group of defensive linemen. He's only a junior, and a lot of people over at DeSoto feel like he may be the best defensive lineman they had. So very, very good football team on both sides of the ball. When you look at Allen, they do have that equalizer in their own quarterback, junior Kyler Murray. He's a lot like Desmond White. He can throw it. He can run it. Again, you pick your poison there. Do you want to take the run game away? You want to stack the line of scrimmage? He'll hurt you throwing the football, and that's what teams have done to this point in the early season. They've said, look, we're not going to let you go out there and break 75 and 80-yard touchdown runs on us. So consequently, he doesn't have a lot of big rushing stats at this point because teams are taking that away. What he has been able to do is throw the football. They've got three receivers, Cole Carter, Grant Finney, Kendall Clinton, that all average over 22 yards a catch. And so he's taking what the defenses are giving him, and he's making them pay for it. Their defensive side of the ball is talented as well, just like DeSoto's, particularly their linebackers. Christian Sam and Tay Evans are both Division I kids, and they lead a talented defensive group with Allen. But again, if these two teams do match up in the playoffs, I see it being a lot like it was last year. I think they combined for 87 points. As good as the defenses are, these offenses are just ridiculous. And because of those two quarterbacks, they're just too difficult to stop. They're not one-dimensional. And you know, typically, if you have a great passer, then you slip a little bit in the running game. Or if you have a great runner, you know, a lot of times you can't throw the football. These two teams are very different from that. Again, whatever you want to take away, they can beat you with the other. And oddly enough, both teams returned 10 starters from last year. If you remember in the playoffs in 2012, Allen beat DeSoto by 15 points. So if you look ahead to this year, if they meet in the playoffs, who wins that game? Well, I mean, it's difficult to say. They both got a long way to go. We're only 3 games into the season. I think if you look at DeSoto's district, certainly Cedar Hill is a premier program, and DeSoto can score some points, and Midlothian is not a bad football team, but they're not going to be challenged beyond, I mean, on a week-to-week basis, really beyond Cedar Hill. I don't look for this team to really be challenged. Maybe Duncanville, because Duncanville can score, but they're not going to be challenged on a week-to-week basis. Allen, on the other hand, none of the Plano schools are elite teams. Plano West is really improving a lot. I'm sorry, Plano East is really improving a lot. That they're building that program up. Plano West has got some really talented players, particularly in the run game. Plano's a good football team. They've got good players on both sides of the ball, and so they're going to challenge Allen. Do I see any of them beating Allen? No, I don't. But it's going to be a challenge from week to week for them. I think that district's a little tougher, so it may make them a little more playoff ready. But at the end of the day, with the schools that both these teams have already played, I mean, they're going to be ready to go. It was a 15-point win last year. Like I said, they both returned 10 starters. So who do you give the edge to? If I had to say right now, I'd say maybe Allen, because I think if you force Kyler Murray to throw the football, because again, you can say, we're just going to play him straight up, and then he breaks, 3 80-yard runs on you, and there you go. I think teams will continue to do what they've done in the early season and really stack the box, stack the line of scrimmage, and say, look, beat us with the pass. And he's very capable of doing that. I think if you find a way to take the run game away from Desmond White, can he throw it? Absolutely. Does he have receivers he can throw it to? Absolutely. I think Kyler Murray may be just a little bit better passer. So that's all that's going to separate these two teams. They're just fantastic teams. And if it does happen where they meet in the playoffs again, it's going to be great for DFW Metroplex fans, because you're going to be treated to another great game. I think it was 51-37 last year. And so I could see the same type of team. And, if that happens, I would say the winner of that game probably should be favored to win state, although there's still good football teams out there from not only in the Metroplex but from all around the state. So by no means is that game going to decide the state championship. But if it happens, it's going to be a great one to watch. Still a lot of football to be played, but that one could be special again. For VYPE High School Magazine, I'm Kris Cumnock, the Executive Director of the Tom Landry Classic.